Okay, hey, this is Josh with Grimco Tech Support. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up cut lines for print and cut with multiple cuts using Cutting Master 4 and Adobe Illustrator. So maybe you do want a kiss cut and a perf cut, or one or the other, or both. This will show you how to set it up from beginning to end for Cutting Master 4. So I've got a file here pulled up already. It's got a cut line in here already. It's got the stroke, spot color, cut contour. So if you look at my swatches, it's got the cut contour. So this is probably, I would use these swatches regardless of whether or not using Cutting Master 4 or some other program. Cutting Master 4 doesn't really care if it's a spot color defined or not. But if you export this and print it through Onyx or Flexi or some other rip, generally those rips will see this spot color and go, oh, that's a cut line, and then it knows not to print that cut line. So at a bare minimum, you won't have to worry about hiding your layers. You may want to hide your layers anyway, but this will kind of prevent you accidentally printing your cut lines, that kind of thing. So we've got a kiss cut on here that's already set up for cut contour. So we'll go ahead and just do a path offset on this to add an additional cut for, say, perf cut. So I can do that through object, path, offset path, and then enter my offset here. Maybe I want 0.125, and you can preview that here. If I tab off of there, it kind of previews where it's going to put, and you have some basic adjustments you can make to the way it offsets that path. And then I'm going to hit OK. So now I have two paths on here, an inner and an outer path. They're both with the spot color cut contour currently, so I want them to be different colors. So I'm going to create a new color for that outer path. So I'm going to go down to my layers tab, or actually I'm sorry, my swatches tab, and create a new swatch for that, since I don't have it already in my swatch library here. So usually I'm going to use cut contour as the prefix, just because rips like Onyx or Flexi will see that as a spot color for kiss cut, regardless of anything following. I could have cut contour 1, cut contour 2, cut contour 3, cut contour perf, you name it, flex, whatever you want to call it. As long as it has that cut contour at the beginning, it's going to say, oh, that's a cut line. I'm not going to print that. Of course, we want it designated as spots, and then usually just something noticeable here is for my color. So maybe pure cyan or something like that. So I should have two colors here, my cut contour and my cut contour perf. I would put them on their own layer as well. So I'm gonna just cut those, Control X. Oops, I did not do what I wanted to do. Guess those are not all one piece. Try that again. Oh, darn it. Alright, let's group those. Now let's try cutting those out. Okay, got them all cut there. And then I'm going to make a new layer. So I'm going to go to my Layers tab, add a new layer. We'll just call this cut, and then print on the print layer 1 there. And then so with the cut layer highlighted, I'm going to do paste in place, Control Shift V, paste in place. And then so now I have my kiss cut and perf cut on their own layers. That way I can always hide this layer when I print, and then re-enable it when I'm ready to cut. But the way we've done it with our cut contour spot colors, we really don't even need to worry about hiding it. We can, just to be safe, just depending on what rip you're printing with. Maybe that's not a spot color for cutting, although that's pretty much standard across any rip that I can think of. So all right, so we've got our cut lines on there. Through Cutting Master 4, if we're going to print and cut this, I need to add my registration marks. So I'm going to go up to File, Cutting Master 4, and add registration marks. In most cases, I'm going to leave this stuff alone. Although with this small file, I don't need segmented marks. So segmented are going to be for longer things, maybe like 6 to 10 feet or above in length. I usually try to avoid going beyond 10 feet on these on any plotter, but in some cases you have to, so you just got to be more careful with those longer runs. So we'll just do the Graphtec Type 2 4 points right here. And then, like I said, in most cases I'm not changing any of these settings, so then I'm just going to hit OK on that. And there it puts my marks in for me. I do need to fix my artboard so that the marks are within the artboard. Something like that. And now this file is ready to print. So then, of course, I would save it out as a PDF or something like that, and then open it up in my RIP and print it like any other print file. Once I have it printed, all I have to do is come back in here and do File, Cutting Master for Cut Plot. And we'll wait for Cutting Master to load here. Okay, so do your job setup the way you want. Double check. Usually, I've seen every once in a while where this checkbox is not checked. If this is not checked, it's not going to look for registration marks. It's just going to go cut blindly. So first tab is your layout stuff. With the print and cut job, you're really not changing anything here. You're not going to resize. You're not going to rotate. You're not going to do any of that because you've already printed it and you want it to match what you've printed. So in most cases, you're not changing anything on here on your layout. We do want to designate what we're cutting. Right now, it's going to try to cut everything. So we can sort by layer or sort by color. So the way we've done it, we've put everything on a cut layer, so we can just uncheck that and say cut that. Or since we have two different colors here, I'm going to turn off all the stuff on the print layers, cut contour. So another way I could have done that was actually have my layers designated as kiss cut and perf cut, and I could have sorted by layer. But in this case, I did it by color, so I have to go turn off all the colors I don't want to cut, which is every other color in the file, and just leave my two cut layers turned on, my cut contour perf and my cut contour. I'm sorry, my two cut colors, I should say. And then since I'm doing two different cuts, I need to enable driver options so that I can designate a specific condition for each mode. So for my cut contour, let's say I want that my kiss cut is set up on plotter condition 1. Boom, there you have it, plotter condition 1. And then on my cut contour perf, let's say I've got that set up for condition 8, so let's set that there. So we've got cut contour perf pointing to plotter condition 8, cut contour pointing to plotter condition 1, and then of course you'll have those. You should have those set up on your plotter for condition 8 to do a perf cut, and condition 1 for your standard kiss cutting. You could also program in some force and so forth, but I normally wouldn't do that. I usually would test it on the machine. And then lastly, we do need to change the order here. We want our kiss cut to be first, so I'm going to bring that above the perf cut. So it goes in descending order, cut contour, and then cut contour perf. I think that's it. We're not doing any tiling. We're not going to add a weed border or anything like that to this file since it's a print and cut file. So shouldn't have to change anything else. And then this should be good to go. So after it's printed, load it on the plotter, put the knife on the first registration mark, and hit send. And that's for Graphtec anyway. You know, if it's a Summa or something like that, it's pretty much a similar process. Actually, I take that back. We're talking about Graphtecs here, so don't worry about any Summa stuff. That should be it. I'll do another video to show you how to do it through Flexi as well. It's a similar process. The interface is going to look pretty close to the same, but Flexi automates a little bit more of this stuff for you. So hopefully that helps. Thanks.